Kyle, how would you describe your emotions just in terms of maybe frustration or loss, relief that the season's over, or are you full steam ahead into 2021 already?
No, I'm very happy the season's over. We've been, once we're eliminated from the playoffs, we're ready to move on a little bit and get to next year. But we had to finish it, and I was real proud of the guys today. I thought those guys competed their ass off in all aspects. I told them to hold their heads high. I didn't think it wasn't a moral victory or anything because I believe we should have won the game. There was a couple plays that we just needed to make at the end that we didn't, and they did, and they were able to pull that off. So that was disappointing, but I'm like, so proud of our guys that they gave all they could and every opportunity that they had, and I'm excited this year's over, and now it's time to figure out how to improve us.
Kyle, you alluded to it, but how excited are you about getting back in the Bay Area, I guess, in a few hours?
Very excited. It's the first time I've ever packed 2 days in advance for anything. It's we're all excited to see our families and everything. We got a little break. Some of us saw our families over Christmas, which was nice. Some weren't able to. So it's been way too long for a number of guys. Anyone stuck in a hotel for, I think, over 30 days, that does wear on you a little bit. So not just me, but the players, the cooks, the equipment guys, everybody involved with us is ready to get back home.
Given the parameters in Santa Clara County, how will you handle things like exit interviews and physicals and things like that typically end a season?
We're going to have to be smart with everything, but I look at it, the way we kind of did business all since we've been there. The way we've done all our business with all our Zoom meetings, with everyone spaced out. We have that as good as set up as, I would say, almost anyone in the country. The main thing is we can't go out and practice football anymore, and we don't have to worry about that right now.
You've seen that from Russell Wilson a few times, but when you had the 10-point lead, I'm sure you're not comfortable with him. Was that just kind of a vintage performance, at least fourth quarter performance by him?
Yeah, that's why they win a lot of games. They try to hang in there till the fourth, and thought we had enough of a lead to do it. And I thought there was a couple plays that we missed that would had a much better chance to kind of put the dagger in him a little bit, which is always hard with Russell. But the plays he made at the end, just extending those plays, thought we had a couple chances to get him in the pocket. And when he squeezes through there, that's why he's one of the best to play this, and that's why he's one of the better guys in the league. And that's why they ended up pulling it out there at the end.
Kyle, Jeff Wilson scored another 2 touchdowns today. I'm guessing he's one of the bigger bright spots of the season, and just how hard did he finish it off today?
Honestly, I feel like Jeff's done the same thing every time we've asked him to. Even last year, we didn't ask him as much last year because there was a few guys ahead of him who were playing at a very high level, and I thought we were a little more fortunate with injuries last year at the running back position. But this year, losing all of our guys pretty early that played last year got him some opportunities fast. Then unfortunately he got hurt too, and then he was able to come back at the end and finish strong. And I think the main thing with Jeff is, like a lot of guys on our team, him doing his part throughout this whole offseason, us doing our part to figure out how we can help him and anyone in any way. But we got a lot of good players, but we got to find out how to handle the wear and tear of an entire season.
This is probably the last game for Robert Saleh. How much was that discussed or talked about with the players, and was it any sort of motivating factor, do you think, for the defense's energy throughout the game?
I know how much the players respect Robert as a coach and love him as a person. So I wouldn't say that today was any extra. I feel like that's why they fight for him every week. When you got coaching staff who knows what they're doing and also is connected and invested in the players, all guys want to do is be coached the right way, and they want you to care about them. And Saleh does that as good as anyone. I was very happy with what he did throughout the whole year. I will be very surprised, just like you said, if we don't lose him. I don't know what's wrong with people if they don't hire him. He's as good as you can get, knows more about football, all 3 phases. And he's going to hire the best staff. He knows about players. He knows who knows what they're talking about, who doesn't know what they're talking about, and he also knows how to deal with people. So I hope everyone's not very smart and doesn't hire him, so I can keep him. But I'm expecting not to have him. But we got a lot of other good guys on our staff, and I know there'll be some number of options, and we got a number of good players. And what we've built here over the 4 years with Saleh, with the whole coaching staff, we haven't made many changes. So there's a lot of guys who we've all grown here together, and we got a lot of players who are used to it too. So I expect whatever we end up deciding here, and obviously we'll wait to see what happens with Saleh. But I know the Niners will be all right.
There was a report today that Robert would interview with the Falcons this week. Can you say at this point whether you've been asked permission by teams to talk to him about their vacancies?
I don't think that we have. I'm sure that'll happen all tomorrow. I mean, I don't think. And then, no, that never happened with me until the Monday of. You know, a lot of people try to do it out of respect to you, and I know Saleh's going to have a number lined up. I think he is going to get one with Atlanta pretty fast. I know it's a little weird situation with these guys are interviewing out of Zoom and not kind of the normal way that you do it. So, but I am pretty sure he's got one with Atlanta tomorrow, and I know others will start coming later in the week.
Well, at least statistically, I think that was Azeez Al-Shire's best game in a 49ers uniform. Were you happy with the way that he seized the opportunity this year after Quan left in New Orleans with more playing time?
Yes, I mean him and Dre. You know, Dre got that last year, but then Azeez to come in and base, and take that role, and then you know, and then today, you know, when we lost Greenlaw, being able to stay out there every down, Azeez done a lot of good stuff for us here in these 2 years, and it'll be a big offseason for him, though. I liked a lot of the stuff we saw today, but I want him to keep getting better, keep trying to own that role to become a starter full time, and also being better and helping us out more on special teams.
You said you can't wait to figure out how to improve us, and obviously you're going to answer 100 million quarterback questions this offseason, but I want to know where you think you guys can improve defensively just based on how you can perform this year.
I think we can improve everywhere. I mean, we got to get some guys healthy back, which when you lose some big-time pass rushers, that changes a lot of stuff. So I think one of the biggest things is figuring out getting our guys healthy, getting them the right program, which I know most of them already started. And then when you have a good nucleus of players and you got a good scheme, you don't sit there and necessarily always just target, hey, whatever this stat said, we have to improve in this. I mean, you do that as you watch tape and everything, but you look at all the options. You look at the draft hard, you look at free agency hard, and you see who has a chance to make your team, who can improve your team, and you just go at it as hard as you can.
We got time for one more, please.
Al, you spoke about how the players have not given up at all in the season, but did you sense a little bit of a sense of relief now that you're finally able to go home, that it's finally over? And then what's the next step for you and the team?
Yeah, there's no doubt there's relief. I mean, that's been adding up. So that was my worry, just of human nature, when you start to get concerned about how miserable you are in a certain area and you want to get home and things like that. It was letting your circumstances affect your job and things like that. And that's what I was proud that our guys didn't do. But there's no doubt they're ready to get back. And just for us, I mean, going forward, we'll work this week. I want to figure out a number of things with the coaches, which I don't think will happen right away. So we got to play that out, see if anything does happen to Saleh or any other coaches on our staff who could get some opportunities. And then usually after that, try to get away for a little bit, just out of the building, away from some of these guys that we've been around with every day. I know they would probably not like to see me for a little bit. But, you know, and then out of the office, you got to figure out a bunch of stuff. I mean, you got to be with your family, but you got to be on your own little schedule. So whenever I'm not with the family, usually for entertainment, as sad as it is, I'm probably watching some film. And now sometimes it's going to be college players, sometimes it's going to be free agents, sometimes it's going to be our guys. Also, we'll see if there's an opportunity to talk to other coaches, if things open up, and maybe guys to interview and stuff to see if they can upgrade our staff or whatever it might be. And that's kind of usually how you spend January, getting all your ducks in order in that way, and try to get everyone back right after the Super Bowl. And that's when you just start hitting it hard with everyone working together and getting ready for Combine, whatever will happen with that.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, folks.
All right. Thanks, guys.
I'll take this off.
You can.
Kendrick, while you guys are going through it, I'm sure it's difficult to say maybe how you really feel just because you're focused on the game ahead or whatever. But now that the Arizona experience is finally over, how would you describe just the toll it took on you guys, just being there for 32 days or however long it was?
Yeah, for sure, definitely a tough situation. I feel like the guys handled it well. COVID just, it picks and chooses who it wants to mess up or whatever you want to call it. But I feel like overall the team took it well, man. Nobody was around here really pouting about it. I mean, you hear the whispers maybe here and there, but nobody truly count themselves out or whatever you want to call it. Everybody still believes. So it's just tough that we have to adjust, not seeing our families and stuff like that. But overall, I feel like the team handled it pretty well.
Kendrick, what has it been like this season? And you always have been so upbeat. You kept that up throughout the season. Now that you're facing free agency, what's the priority to get back to the 49ers?
Yeah, I for sure want to be here. I love this organization. They've taken care of me since they brought me in undrafted, so I always have a love for them. And just letting it play how it's going to play out. I don't really know. Like I said, I want to be back, so I'm just let my agents do their job and see what they're talking about, and whatever the best situation for me is what I'm going to take. But I feel happy about the year, man. Everything that's went on, it was hard, but I just feel like the team, we went through every feeling. So how everybody was through all the adversity, it was awesome to see. You could see why we went to the Super Bowl, even how we dealt with all these situations we went through.
Hey, Kendrick, just following up on that a little bit, you guys have a lot of free agents, a lot of guys that probably won't be back just because of the business of this whole thing. Was there any sense at all after the game that, you guys were able to keep most of that Super Bowl team together this year and make another run at it, but that this was kind of maybe the last, chance for you guys to do it tonight?
Yeah, I think they definitely have the idea of getting this same team back together. Like you said, whoever wants more money, they might not come back or whatever it may be, might mess some things up. But I think that's definitely their plan, is to get this same group, keep us together. Because we just mold together well, man. Even how we played today, we should have got the win. It's just a couple plays that didn't go our way, man, that made us lose. Even the last game, playing the Cardinals, we played very well, very together. The team ball was coming together. So I feel like next year is going to be a great run. So I definitely want to be a part of it. So we're going to see how it goes, planning to be back.
Kendrick, I know you said you're going to let your agent take care of it, but how much will decisions like the culture of the team and knowing that you guys have a playoff roster and just how close you are with the wide receiver group play a part of your decision on where you go next year?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a big part, man. My relationships with everybody here is definitely genuine and authentic, man. So I just, you never know what happens when you go to a different team. You never know. I might not fit in somewhere else, how I fit in here. So they accept me here how I am, the personality, goofiness, everything about me, they just accept. And let me be myself. I feel like that's why I'm so successful here. But just to see, what's going to happen. I really don't know, man. I don't know what teams are interested in me. So we'll just see. But definitely, I want to be back, man. I know next year this team is going to go really far. So I can see it. It's just too clear to see.
Last one for KB.
Kendrick, one of the obvious storylines, it seems like almost every offseason with the 49ers, but especially the one coming up, is the quarterback. Mm-hmm. How curious are you to find out whether Jimmy indeed is going to be the quarterback next year?
I really don't know, man. We'll see. I don't know if they're talking about drafting anybody, but I believe in Jimmy. I believe in CJ and Nick. So I play with all those guys. I've caught a touchdown from each one of them. So I don't really mind who's back there, man. Hopefully we get Jimmy G back. He's been dealing with his injury, so hopefully he gets his chance to fix his name, what they've been talking about.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Stay with us. We got Eric up next.
Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it, bro. Sir.
Thanks, KB.
Yes, sir.
Buttons down to the left.
Okay.
Hey, Eric, Shanahan just told us that Robert Saleh is probably going to interview with the Falcons for their head coaching job tomorrow, and it seems likely that he's going to get at least a shot at a head coaching job. Did you guys talk about that. Was that on your minds at all, that today's game might have been your final one with Robert as your defensive coordinator?
No, we haven't talked about it. Obviously, he had some interviews last year, and we always knew that he's a top candidate and a great coach, and that would be a big opportunity for him and him and his family. And I'm super excited for him. He definitely deserves that, and I hope that opportunity comes to fruition. And if that's something he wants to do, I hope it happens for him because he's a great coach and a great man.
Hey, Eric, how excited are you to leave Arizona in a few moments?
Super excited. We've been here about 5 weeks away from our family, so super excited to get out of here and get back to our families and spend some time with them.
Eric stole my question, so I'm going to ask it in a different way. How would you describe what everything was like in Arizona, and really how difficult was it now that you have hindsight at your disposal?
It was just different. Being away from your family is tough, and it was an adjustment for all of us. It's the first time I think this happened in NFL history, so. But I think it definitely made us closer, all going through it together, and I'm proud of the guys and how we fought down the stretch. We continue to play hard and with great effort, and that's all you can ask for.
Eric, with all the adversity your team faced, what did you learn about yourself and about your team through everything?
Just to cherish the moments, cherish playing, alongside one another. It's year 6 for me, and things change every year, and so this down the stretch, I just wanted to cherish the guys I was playing with. Have fun to the best of our ability against the circumstances, and just cherish playing alongside of one another. Down the stretch, that's all you can do.
We'll do 2 more for Eric.
Eric, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You've been with Salah for a few years. What is one thing that you felt like you've learned the most from him, whether it's on or off the field?
Salah's approach daily is amazing. His attention to detail and his approach to attack the day and get the most out of the day, and that leads to going out there and attacking your opponent down in and down out. He's a very consistent person. And persistent, and that feeds to us, and that's how we go out there and play. And it's all about being consistent, executing, and playing at a high level. And so he's a great coach, and I definitely learned a lot more from him than just that. But I definitely will remember that.
Last one for Eric.
Hey Eric, with COVID and him being in Arizona, is there just a sense of relief that this crazy football season is over?
Yeah. It's it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, but it has been a long, trying year. Seems like the longest year ever, and there is some relief there to get back to hopefully next year things are normal, getting fans back in the stadium, and some normalcy back in our league, and around the world in general too, not just football, but around the world, trying to get some normalcy, and that'll be good for society as well, getting back to regular things that we do, getting back to being able to be around each other is huge, so definitely looking forward to that.
All right, thanks, Eric. We got Mike McGlinchey here next.
Thanks, man. Out to the left.
With all the adversity you faced this season, what have you learned about yourself, and how much of a relief is it to be able to go back home finally?
Definitely learned about the toughness of not just me, but the rest of this group, to keep fighting, to keep going as hard as we did throughout the back half of this season, given the circumstances that we have. Yeah, and definitely, it is a relief to get home and get out of here and get home to family and have a little breathing room here and get right for next season. But the things you learn is that, like I said earlier this week, it's a matter of looking at the overall picture of what happened this season, the ups, the downs, the things that I can do better, the things that I didn't do as well, and making sure that they don't happen again. And it's both mental, physical, and all that, and excited to get going in 2021.
Mike, Eric just said, through everything, he does think that being in Arizona brought you guys closer together. Do you feel that, and do you feel like that's something that will carry on to next season?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime that you struggle through things with people, anytime that you are and that's what football does in general, but to have an extenuating circumstance like like what we've had over the last 5 or 6 weeks, that certainly does the same thing. And it's everybody common struggle and persevering through things as a unit, as a group, as a team certainly brings people together in all aspects. And I think it did that. I think Eric hit it on the head. I was sitting in the back of the room when he answered that question. I think he hit it on the head. I think we certainly got closer, both with the coaching staff, as players, the support staff, everybody. I don't want to say we had a wonderful time being away from home, but if I was to do it with any other group, it would be this one.
Like, obviously, the biggest looming thing for you guys is, at least contract-wise, is Trent Williams. What was it like to just play a full season with him?
I've been pretty lucky over my first 3 years in the NFL to be a counterpart to 2 Hall of Fame players, and Trent brings the same kind of talent, level of play, consistency, backbone, a guy that you can count on every single week, just like Joe did. And obviously the two of them are very different personalities and things like that, but Trent came in as the new guy this offseason after, the established success that he's had with the team for, 9 or 10 years or however long he was in Washington. And that's not an easy thing to do. And to be the guy that he was and the teammate that he was and the willingness to learn and be a part of what we do here is a testament to who Trent is as a man as well, on top of the level of play. And I think it was obviously a huge blessing for us to have Trent here this year. And, obviously this game is a huge business, but we're hoping to keep him as long as we can, and because he's as good as it gets in this game.
We'll do 2 more for Mike.
Mike, the last 2 years have ended in disappointing fashion for you guys, but in very different ways. And I'm wondering how you think that's going to shape the team going into next year.
Well, I think it was a hard deal for this year, especially to have the way last year ended in the last 6 or 7 minutes. The heartbreak that was. I think everybody was just so ready to get back and get going, and then we had to kind of put the brakes on it until we got back to training camp because of the way that the world situation was this year. It was a very, very different ending to both seasons. I think that there's lessons to be taken from each. Obviously, the things that we were dealt, the hand that we were dealt, the players that we lost throughout this year is never the way that you want to go about doing it, and it's never a season that you want to experience having because it hurts you to see your friends not being able to do what they want to do and be the players that they can be because they've had some unfortunate injuries and the things that we can build on from that and the other players that got opportunities to show out and to show up for our team this year. I mean, the perfect example is Kerry Hyder. I mean, the job that he did for our organization, for our defense, for our entire team is something that was truly special. And it's people like that give you these kind of lessons of just no matter what the circumstances are, no matter how the success of our team's been, there's people that you got to fight for. And he is one of those guys. And I obviously love Kerry and the job that he's done for our team, but he's just a perfect example of what these kind of the differences of seasons have been about. And he got an opportunity and ran with it, and it's another opportunity for us, an example for us to learn from to continue to grind forward and take what we can from the past 2 seasons.
All right, last one to Cam.
Hey, Mike. One of the big storylines this offseason is going to be Jimmy Garoppolo in the quarterback position. How much does this team need Jimmy back in 2021, and how curious are you about just what's going to unfold there?
I don't speak to other people's decisions about my teammates, about my friends. That's their business. But I believe that our team needs him. I believe that our team is clearly different without him. And the person that Jimmy is, the competitor that he is, and the talent that he is, when he's on, the results speak for themselves. And that's all I really have to say about that. Jimmy's situation is going to take care of itself. He's our quarterback. I hope he's our quarterback here for the future. And he's a guy that I love to play for. I love playing with, and I know the rest of our locker room feels the same way. He's a guy that we want to keep around here. He's a guy that we need to have here, and that's all you got to say about that.
All right, thanks, Mike. We got Jimmy Ward right with us right now. Hoodie and dress pants, I like it.
Oh man,
Comfy and stylish. Folks, there we go, Jennifer.
Secondary combinations you've had this year. How difficult has it been to adjust to that?
I'm saying the lead is difficult itself. Other than that, I feel like we did the best job we could with the new guys that came in and played great. Sale was in, T. Moore, Spoon came in, E-Man. Like, we had a lot of guys banged up. I've been banged up this season, missed 2 games, and I feel like a lot of guys came in and filled those roles.
At the end of today's game, the Seahawks, instead of kneeling the ball through a short pass to David Moore, did that bother you guys at all? Did you guys find out what was going on, why they just didn't, end the game like they usually do?
Something, but Russ said after the game that he wasn't trying to, I guess they weren't trying to run up the score, but somebody got $1,000 for a catch, and I don't know, so I think that's why he did. I think the guy got $1,000, but I don't know, beats me. Oh, I take that back. Sorry about that. It was 100,000. 100,000. 100,000. All right.
How much was it on the mind of you guys, the fact that this is more than likely Robert Saleh's last game, and just in general, what do you think he's done for your career in these last 4 years?
He's an outstanding coach. I'm happy for him. I hope he gets the head coaching job. I feel like he came in and did the best he could do to pick guys in position, and he knew players. So, like I said, I was in a lot of man coverage, and that worked out for me well. That's really all I had to say about that. And like I said, I hope he gets the job.
Jimmy, how much do you enjoy talking trash, specifically with the Seahawks? You saw, Juice got up after he got hit, and he was, talking, friendly trash talk to them, and Jeff Wilson got up, and he was talking trash after he got hit. It seems like, specifically with Seattle, you guys really enjoy that. What's that like?
I really just talk with guys who's talkers. DK wasn't talking too much today, so I wasn't talking. He wasn't being overly aggressive, so I didn't feel it from him. I don't really have too much to say about that, but the guys who talk gonna talk, and the guys who just play quiet gonna play quiet.
Couple more.
Hey, Jimmy, what is your favorite thing about Glendale, Arizona?
They got good food out here. Papados, Steak 44, Ocean 44. Shout out to Larry Fitzgerald. He owned 5% of that. Make sure y'all go and eat there. Raising Cane's. That's a pretty. I need to give your boy endorsements and some shouting y'all out, but that's about it.
Final of along those lines, what are you most looking forward to about getting back to the Bay Area?
I don't know, resting, watching film, really just heal my body and get my guys back, my teammates, and just see how this free agency gonna go. I see we got a lot of free agents, and it's the business side, so I'm gonna lose a lot of guys I've been playing with for a while, and some guys gonna come back. But I'm gonna put my trust in John. I feel like he knows what he's doing at AP. I feel like they know what they're doing. They've been doing a great job so far.
All right, thanks, folks. We got George here.
George had an amazing catch.
Right? Yeah.
You're going to talk tomorrow, so I'll tell him we can just do a couple. No worries. Well, howdy.
Hey, George.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Can you take us through that crazy twisting catch that was one-handed there? Were you going a little Odell on us?
CJ just gave me an opportunity. Pretty sure he said, hey, I'm going to make this difficult for you, so just try to make me look really good. And it was perfect. So closed my eyes again, I think. I have a really tough time scoring after one-handed catches, so I'll have to work on that this offseason, but it was overall a fun play.
George, now that you finally get a chance to go home, what is the sense of relief for that, and what has the last month plus been like?
Not really a sense of relief. I'd rather be playing in the playoffs, but the way that our season's gone, most of the guys getting out healthy towards the end of the year. I think that's what my relief is, and I'm also happy that so many guys got the opportunity to play, and a lot of young guys got the opportunity to play, and a lot of guys got a lot more reps than they would, if we were 100% healthy. So my relief is that I think a lot of guys got better over the course of these last couple weeks, and a little random vacation for 6 weeks in the middle of the season. That was pretty interesting. I enjoyed that too.
George, you were clearly not thrilled with the way last season ended. I would imagine the feeling's similar this year, but it was very different, obviously. I'm curious how you think those two experiences are going to mold you and the team going into next year.
Pretty different. Losing the Super Bowl versus losing the last game of the season, you don't go to the playoffs, are two completely different. But you just got to look at the things you did well. You got to look at the things that you didn't do well. And I know that I was very disappointed with a lot of my reps in today's game. But it's just things you got to watch the tape, get better, see overall what are the plays that could have changed every single game from this past year, because every single play is so important. So just looking forward to seeing all that tape and letting the body get healthy before the offseason starts and just get right back at it.
Couple more, please.
Nice. George, on that note, you seem to work out like a lunatic in the off season. How much time do you actually take off before you get back into that zone?
I will not probably touch a weight until February. I'll be very much off the face of the earth for the next month. So don't try to find me or try to ask me any questions, please. And Chris, if you ask me one more question, I will not talk to you again for at least a year. I swear.
All right, last one.
George, some of your teammates said that this time in Arizona did bring you guys closer together. Do you feel that? Was that somewhat of a silver lining of this experience?
Definitely. Just with all the protocols and not being able to, hang out and see each other. When you are forced to, all live together in a hotel, you definitely get a little bit more time, just to see each other and talk. But I definitely think, when you have to spend 6 weeks somewhere, I don't think really no one's done that other than maybe the Saints after the hurricane. But it's just it's definitely different. But I thoroughly enjoyed being able to be out, be in a location with all my teammates, and it kind of made it feel like an actual football season. Not just everything was Zoom meetings and not talking to each other. So it was definitely fun to be with the guys.
All right, thanks, George. We've got CJ here.
CJ, through all the adversity you faced this season, what did you learn about yourself, and then what did you learn about your teammates?
I would just say first off that you can battle through anything that's thrown at you in life. Whenever
there's certain things that hit you that you feel like you can't recover from, or you feel like you'll never recover from. You can, and I would just tell that to anybody out there who feels down the dumps or something. If there's something happened in their life or they feel like they can't overcome it, you always can. And with my teammates, I just appreciate the way they battled all year, and I'm real proud of them. We were put in a tough situation going to here in Arizona for the last 6 or so weeks. Just the way they've handled it and came to work each day. I'm real proud of them for that.
Hey, CJ, I'm sure you guys would have loved to have started faster on offense. Obviously that pass to Richie seemed to spark you a little bit. But was there something that clicked as far as figuring out their defense, or was it just kind of waking up?
It was a little bit of both. The first couple drives, they were calling the perfect coverage for the certain plays that we had on or whatnot, and credit to them, they were doing a good job, and then part of it just not us executing also. So yeah, a little bit of both.
I realize it may be too soon to ask this, but a year from now, when you look back on the Arizona, the Glendale experience, how do you think you'll remember it? What do you think will kind of stick in your mind for the coming years about that?
Shoot, probably. Hopefully we don't ever have to do this again. First off, but there are some good times, good memories here with the guys. When you're all kind of bunked up in the same hotel, you get to see them in passing a little bit. We weren't allowed to really hang out or whatever, so that kind of stuck. But overall, you learn from it and you get better from the situations you're put in. All right, thanks, CJ.
Appreciate
we got Jeff Wilson.
Jeff, I know you're probably looking forward to seeing your son. How challenging has this 32 days been for you, and what are you looking most forward to getting back home? What's the process? What's next?
Yeah, it's been tough, but I talk to my son on the phone every day. I hear him call me Dada. I see him smile at me. I see him laugh. I see his demeanor change when I get on the phone. So having that this whole entire time through the 32 weeks was the thing that kept me going. So, it was tough. It was rough, but being able just to call him on the phone and see him every day, hearing his voice, hear him say "I love you" back, it was priceless. That's what got me going.
Jeff, what does it mean to you to be able to get your 10th touchdown of the season? Was that a milestone for you, and what was that like?
No, not at all. I just heard that earlier during another interview I was doing. But no, that's not a big deal. I guess it's nice, but we didn't win. We don't have a winning season because of it. So, that's pretty much it.
Jeff, if you wouldn't mind, how old is your son, and what's his name? And also, could you describe the back and forth you had with Diggs and Jamal Adams at that moment after that big hit on one of your runs?
Oh yeah, my son, he's about to be 2, March 29th. So that'll be perfect timing for me to get to go and spend his birthday with him. And then with that, we was just talking football, nothing personal. Those girls love the game. I love the game. They play it at a high level. Consider myself to play it at a high level. We just out there playing ball. That's all it was.
Hey, Jeff, has your performance this season given you more confidence or an idea of what kind of running back you can be in the NFL?
For me, it's just back to the drawing board. It's back to work. Take a break off, spending with family, and then get back to working and try to come out and be the best me that I can possibly be. And that's how I look at it.
Last one for Jeff.
Jeff Kyle said he's going to work on how to improve the team this month. Where do you feel like you and the rest of the running backs can take your game to another level just to be better next year?
Our bodies, definitely our bodies. I guess a lot of people say we get nicked easily or whatever. So, just staying on top of our bodies, which I know we are. So that's the main thing I would say for us, is making sure our bodies is right when we come back to take the duration of a season.
Thanks, Jeff. We got Fred here for you guys.
Fred, with all the adversity you faced this season, what did you learn about yourself and what did you learn about your teammates?
It was a lot of adversity, and I'm just so proud of the group and the way we fought. Obviously, you can use any excuse you want to give to the type of season we had, but we obviously had to perform better, and we didn't. It wasn't the season we wanted, but now we get to just put it behind us, learn from it, and get ready for the 2021 season. I'm so looking forward to this off season and giving everything I got to make sure I come back 10 times better than I was this year.
Fred, how much was it on the defense's mind that this is more than likely the last game you guys will be playing with Robert Saleh, and how would you describe the impact he's had on your career?
Yeah, I'm not sure how everybody else was thinking about it. I knew, at the back of my mind, I knew it could possibly be our last, and try to give it everything I had out there, just like every other game. But he's meant so much to me just from the moment coming out in the draft, the belief he had in me, and has continued to have in me since I've stepped on the field with the 49ers. I can't thank him enough, and just riding with me. That guy is an amazing coach, and if he does get the opportunity to go and be a head coach somewhere, I'll be so happy for him, and I know he'll do an amazing job. So, wish we could have pulled this one out for not only him but just the rest of the team.
Right, Aziz had 7 solo tackles today. He had a tackle for loss on the pass break. He just looked confident and comfortable. What do you see from him this season, and do you think he can kind of build on this performance and take him to the offseason?
Yeah, I've loved how he's come and just improved this year. That guy, I know when we go out there, I know he's going to hunt every single down. He gives it his all every single play. And, going into next season, you just got to build on the type of year he had this year. I think year 2 to year 3 is when you can really take every year you could take another step in your game. But, for him, I'm excited about him having a great offseason so he can come back and really be a great player for us next season.
What are you most looking forward to in getting back to the Bay, and how will you spend the next month or so?
Just excited to get home, honestly. It's been kind of crazy being out here. This has almost felt, it has and it hasn't. It felt like home, just because we've been out here for so long. Time-wise, it's felt like home, but, just very excited to get back home in my own bed. And this next month, just kind of, just relaxing, taking my mind off of football for a month, get away from it so I could really dial in and come back hard.
2 more, please.
Fred, forgive me for asking a contract question, but who knows when we'll talk to you again. But is it, given that you're up for an extension, is it your mindset that you're not going to play in another game without a new deal?
What a question. Oh, man. Listen, I'm gonna let all that stuff sort itself out. I have no idea what's to come and whatnot. So, thanks for the question, though.
Fred, we haven't been able to see you guys in the locker room this season. Can you take us inside after this last game and just who said what was the message, and just kind of what was the mood inside that locker room?
Yeah, obviously Kyle told everyone how proud he was of how we've handled ourselves this year, even though, not happy with the way the season's gone at all. It's unacceptable to ever have a losing season. But, just the way the guys have stayed together, and that's just who we are. That's always how it's been, even when I was here in 2018, and the way we finished that. Guys just stayed together all year and never pointed a finger. And so what I told the guys is, obviously every year is a different team, so just make sure you thank the man next to you, because you can never do what you do by yourself. This is the truest team game, and just thankful for everybody in that locker room for giving it their all this year.
Thank you, Fred.
Thanks, guys.
And we're out. That was